Hello. Thank you for watching this video. It's another one of the Living with Cancer series, and today I'm talking about a topic that's really quite important, because as you will know, if you're a cancer patient, your dietitian will have told you already that cancer takes your calories, your energy away from you, and in doing so it steals your weight. So if you suddenly have massive weight loss, then go and see your GP. Tell him or her about it, and just make sure it's not cancer. It could be so many other things. Don't be worried, just be vigilant and just keep an eye on things. Simple things. Now obviously to gain weight, to maintain weight, and to stop losing weight, we have to have an appetite. And this is where cancer is very insidious, because it can take away that appetite. However, I have my notes with me today. Of course I do. I always have my notes. And I've got a few suggestions which should help you get the upper hand on the way cancer dictates how you live your life when it comes to food. Now, the first big one, obviously, we're used to, maybe you are, maybe you aren't, having 3 meals a day, so breakfast, lunch and dinner. If you work in the corporate environment, you probably have a light breakfast, no lunch, and a big dinner. If you've got cancer, you can overface yourself by trying to stick to this regime. So don't. Eat small, eat frequently. So small meals, pick, snacks, things like that. I've got down here bags of nuts, crisps, dried fruit, cheese and crackers, personal favourite, or yogurts, peanut butter and fromage frais. So if you can incorporate that onto toast or onto crackers, or just flicking back a few peanuts into your mouth every now and again, you can. That's fabulous. So the main point here is to snack. Don't stick to your rigid 3 meals a day. Just snack. Have small meals, small portions, and just consume food throughout the day. Don't overface yourself. Now the next one I've got here is rather a curious one, but try to make your food look attractive. Make it look like you want to eat it. Now, you could put beans on toast in front of me and I'll eat it because it just looks good. But there are certain aspects to food that presentation is everything. I'm sure a Michelin star chef has said that at some point. And it's true. You take the first bite, I suppose, with your eyes. If you look at something, does it look appealing? I won't go into the garnishes that I put down, but you don't need to garnish stuff. I mean, can you imagine spaghetti on toast with some parsley on the side of it? It just doesn't work. But if you do cook yourself a nice meal, like some chicken or something, seasonal vegetables, I don't know, maybe you are put a garnish on the side of something. Now the next one I have tried, and excuse me while I do it actually right now. You can stimulate your appetite in many different ways, and the most frequently recommended one is have a glass of sherry or brandy up to 30 minutes before you eat. I've tried this and it does actually work. I don't like sherry. I'm not a huge fan of brandy either. I'll only drink brandy after I'm sort of like half on the floor in a pub somewhere, and it's normally not something I've chosen to do, to drink. It's something that's been bought for me. Sherry, not a huge fan. However, there was a district nurse who came round and suggested trying sherry. I did. It did work. But here's a tip though: just have one glass. Don't have several and then forget to eat because you're drunk. Sweet or savoury, nourishing drinks in between your snacks. Now, this is quite topical because when I stopped eating about 9 months ago, I couldn't eat. Cancer had just taken my appetite from me. My dietitian put me on various drinks that were highly calorific. I think I've mentioned them before. Fruits of the forest. That's all I'm going to say. Fruits of the forest. It was the only one that seemed palatable to me. And to be fair, I just, even though I had no appetite, I just felt like I felt like I was just surviving on these drinks. And after you have them day in, day out, and you've tried the other flavours and they're all horrible. I mean, one of them actually made me vomit. I think it was the apple one. I'm not sure. But if you have those as well as you're having food, and you happen to like the drinks and you're not totally dependent on them, it's another way of getting calories into you, which is always the goal at the end of the day, is to get as many calories into you to stop cancer from taking them from you. Cooking. If you cook your own meals, or you're in the luxury of having somebody who cooks them for you, like I do, my partner does that, makes some very, very lovely meals. You have to be aware that sometimes the smell of food cooking can put you off eating. It can just destroy your appetite. If that happens, again, try and revert back to your snacking, to your small little things that you just pick on. For example, at the moment, I'm mad on pickled onions. I don't know where that's come from. It just keeps my appetite up, as opposed to it just sinking down to a point where I can't eat anything. Try to eat your meals in a room that you're comfortable with. May sound odd, but the dinner table that you've used for years and years may not be comfortable. You may not be happy eating food there. So find the place where you're quite happy, you're comfortable to eat food. It makes a huge difference, because it's mental as well as physical. I'm not saying the cancer does it, but you can put up mental barriers to stop you eating. I speak from experience. I mentioned before that you can stimulate your appetite by having a glass of sherry or a brandy or something before food, 30 minutes before food. If you're having real problems, you can see your dietitian, your NHS dietitian, or your GP, and they can actually prescribe drugs that you can take prior to eating, which will stimulate your appetite. Because remember, you are hungry. It's just your cancer telling you in some nefarious way that you're not hungry. Use seasonings and spices. I mean, this is if you want to, if you do already season your food with spices and herbs, then continue to do so, but just be wary of your mouth, because some herbs and spices can irritate it and it can cause pain during eating, so just be mindful of that. Same with marinating your meat or your fish. I'm suggested here you can fruit juices or wine, or cook it in strong sauces. Particular favourite is curry, or a nice flavoursome gravy can also help. Just anything that you enjoy, and when you smell it cooking or you see it in front of you in the place where you want to eat something, your appetite just rises and you're ready to go with it, because it's about getting the calories in. It's all about doing that, and it's all about you wanting the food that you want to eat. Because some days I started off with I don't know, I can't remember, but you'll go through fads of wanting stuff, and then the next week you don't want it. I think the best example I've got was I was drinking ice cold Coke to begin with, and I've got like cans of Coke that I've never drank, because all of a sudden, bam, I went straight off it. Didn't like the taste of the Coke, didn't like the way the reaction it had with my stomach. Obviously chemotherapy, cancer as well, can put you off certain things that you've always enjoyed, tea, coffee. If that's the case, try something like green tea or a herbal tea. I personally like green tea. You're also getting the fluids into you again, which is very, very important. Now, hot food versus cold food, salads versus a cooked dinner. Again, this is down to personal preference, but some people, if you're having trouble facing a hot dinner, try a salad. You may find that you like it all of a sudden, unless of course you're dead off salad. You just don't. Salad is just not something that you eat. But if you're having trouble with having hot dinners, try some cold. So some cold meats, salad, things like that. You may find suddenly that you like it. Also, just tagging on the end of that, I've put down here that you can also enhance cold meats with chutneys and pickles, which is true. I mean, if you get a pork and egg pie, Malton Mulberry pork and egg pie, bit dry on its own, but incredibly calorific as long as you have all the pastry as well. Just put some pickles, some pickled onions and some Branston pickle on the plate. Makes a huge difference. Or whatever your condiment is that you particularly like with cold meats. And the last one that I think we all overlook is if you get a metallic taste in your mouth when you're eating, depending on your side effects due to the chemotherapy, if you get the metallic taste, use plastic cutlery. It works. I don't know why, but it works. Just take away the... I don't know. Do you know what? I'm not even going to try and explain it to you, because I don't know. And I'm not even going to guess, because I'm ignorant. I just know that when I had that as a particular issue and I tried plastic cutlery, which I found out by accident because I eat a lot of kebabs, doner kebabs, because they're highly calorific. You do get a bit of salad with it, but I'm addicted to chili sauce, condiments, and the local kebab shop, when they deliver, they always put a plastic fork in it. And I ate a few with the plastic fork, and then suddenly I thought, no, I'm going to go back to, because I think I was having trouble cutting the meat. So I went back to metallic knife and fork, and yeah, that's when I noticed, hang on a minute, things taste a bit different. So there is method in the madness on that one. Right, I've covered off the major points that I've written down in my past just over 12 months now. I've been diagnosed. As I say, the calorific drinks aren't particularly nice. For me, they weren't. They might be for you. If they are, then brilliant. But after a while, I'm pretty sure you'll be the same as me and think, well, I want something a bit more solid in my diet, and the drinks aren't causing it. But don't knock them, because, excuse me, they do have their place. They keep you alive. and they stop the cancer taking everything you possibly have from you. Right, I think that's about it. I've covered off everything I wanted to say. And if you are a cancer patient, strength to you. I'm telling you my best wishes. And also support our NHS. We need it. Thank you for watching.